Excited for today's vlog. Basically, the much awaited A7S3 is finally within my grasp. It's finally in my hands. The camera was a little bit delayed. I was supposed to get it like a week earlier, but either way, when I got in, I was able to speak to a Sony rep, actually hold the camera within my hands. So you get to look at the new camera.
Time to play, right?
Yeah.
So this is a new menu layout on here as well. So some of the features have been moved around, so we're just going to have to kind of rediscover where it's going to be at here. Touch operation. And then we want to set that to touch tracking. So now as you're recording, you can touch and it'll lock focus with.
Awesome.
And then I can just touch wherever I want it to go to next. So for you, the menu's not going to really be that big of a deal because you're going to relearn. It's going to be a whole new menu because it's a new brand for you. Some of the cool things on here that got added. So you have a full-size HDMI on it. So if you're going out to a monitor or whatnot, you actually have a full-size cable to work with. The other change that's a really nice add is the USB-C. Actually has a direct power capability now to it.
Oh wow.
So if you have like a little battery bank piece, you can run the camera off of that.
Wow.
So don't have to really worry about battery life. It does take the newer Z battery. So battery life is incredibly good out of that as well. Your card slots can take either the SD cards or the new CF Express Type A. Both of those are capable. Just depends which way you orientate the card for what style you have.
That's cool. It has the 2 slots too.
Yep, and both are high-speed slots, so both of them take full advantage of the high-speed cards. New viewfinder on it. So the viewfinder is about 9.5 megapixel.
Yeah, I heard that it's just insane.
Yeah, it's incredibly nice. The other cool thing is if you're a user who shoots with glasses on, you can actually adjust the magnification in the viewfinder so it accommodates you wearing glasses.
Oh.
So it has the right distance for you.
Yeah, and that flip screen is also...
Yeah, so the new flip screen is incredibly nice. Not only can I protect it from getting scratched up, but yeah, then I can do selfies or rotate it if I'm shooting low, things like that.
How do you like the Lumix?
I love the ergonomics of that, but just no autofocus and...
Oh, it doesn't autofocus at all?
Like, it's not very well.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, sometimes it's like so interesting to see the person behind the account.
Yeah.
Because like, photographers don't usually post pictures of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you actually see who they are, you're like, oh, never would have guessed.
That's cool.
Yeah, most people think I'm a dude.
Oh, really? I mean, your work's amazing, so...
Thank you,
that's
I really
cool.
appreciate it.
So, like I was saying earlier, shout out to Arts Cameras for hooking me up and price matching, my quote. I did some shopping around, wanted to get a good price, but at the same time, like I said, support local businesses. So, major shout out to those guys. If you guys could, check out the link to their website in the description. Without further ado, we're going to go straight into the unboxing. So here's the box. So first thing that it looks like, we have a HDMI mount. It's a mount basically that attaches to the sides of the camera, and the cool thing about the Sony A7S3 is it has a full-size HDMI port. This wiggling, this type of play is something that you don't want to see. I don't think you'll lose connection, or anything like that, but over time it might kind of wear out that port and the connection. So here we got a USB-C cable. So it's a USB to USB-C cable. And the cool thing about the Sony A7S3 is you can actually charge the camera through the USB-C port on the side, which should be right by the HDMI. Power brick here with my USB-C to USB cable attached, charging the camera. So I have the camera set to off. I'm going to switch that on. And then on that upper right icon there, you can see that it's actually charging the battery. Here's the battery charger. The camera itself, the Sony A7S3. So I'm sure, as you all know, This is the first Sony A7 series, including the A7S lineup, to have a flip out screen that you'll see here. The LCD screen is also touch enabled, so it should be a lot more easy and pleasant for the user. So you have your menu button here, and then a couple function buttons here that you can customize. You got your autofocus on off switch here, you got a joystick here, and you have your scroll wheel here. Then, as I mentioned, your playback, and then trash can erase button there. You got the battery port here down at the bottom. Pull this switch down to unlock it, and then the door opens. So here is the Sony battery, and it's a lithium ion NP-FZ100 battery. So if you want to put the battery in, pretty straightforward. You open the door as I mentioned, and then the battery just slides in as so. Alright, and there we go. With this camera I got the 24-105 f4 lens. It'll cover the majority of my focal ranges, especially when shooting video. And the pouch is like this, I don't know if it's real leather, but it's pretty nice. Wow, and then look, check this out. It comes encased in bubble wrap. So that's a really nice touch. I really like that. So we got the lens hood, and then even more bubble wrap around the, front lens element. That zoom ring is pretty smooth. And then on the front here you have your focus ring. Along the side you have your autofocus manual switch. And then you have your optical image stabilization switch on there as well, which I'm very interested to see how it works within the A7S3's built-in image body stabilization. So first impressions, feeling the camera in my hand. One thing that I struggle with is my pinky kind of almost wanting to go under the body, but it's nothing too bad. You guys might have seen it earlier in the sample with the Sony Rep, but just going over the SD card slots. So to open the door, you have this kind of spring-loaded switch here. So you pull down, then pull back, and then open that up. So right now I only have a V60 SDXC card, 128 gig. So looking to get that CF Express Type A card, hopefully soon here, and kind of try out some of the higher frame rate or higher bit rate options for recording. But in a nutshell, I mean, that's kind of how the camera is laid out. So, as I mentioned, you got your dials at the top, record button here, on-off switch here, another custom function button, scroll wheel here. This will control your shutter speed. And then here, this will control your aperture or f-stop on, your actual lens. So the lens is pretty heavy, actually. It feels heavier than the camera itself, but it feels solid. It feels well balanced. But it feels good in my hand. And then the viewfinder, actually, the electronic viewfinder on this camera is supposed to be top notch. So the viewfinder has a nice rubber piece. It also has this sensor here that detects, when you place your eye in front of the viewfinder, and it'll switch kind of preview modes from the LCD to the viewfinder. So from here we're going to switch over, and I'm going to show you guys some quick test footage.